Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we got Charlie's WJ back on the lift. We just got back from the wheeling event in Dresser, Wisconsin. So that was Charlie's first time out on the new long arm kit and all the goodies, and he did fantastic. He's open front or quadra drive front and quadra drive rear. It did not like the 35s, and he's got the winch mount trimmed for his 35s, and we had some loose issues, but nothing that some zip ties couldn't get us through the weekend. So now we're going to end up ripping the rest of what's left of his bumper out, putting in a radiator skid, and then doing the wing kit, which will be the finishing part for our full armored front bumper for the WJ. So it's a DIY kit. There's some tack welding, full welding, some test fitment, some adjusting, and then we'll full weld them on, bolt them in, and then Charlie can have at it with his tractor paint, and we'll be good to go. So we're going to start out with, as you can see here, this is how the wing kit will come. Radiator skid you can purchase separately, wings you can purchase separately, and the winch mount can be purchased separately, or you can get it as one complete kit. So you can do it in stages, you can do it all at once. After watching Charlie trim this bumper to try and fit it, I recommend doing the whole thing at once, getting rid of the factory bumper, and then you got less trimming and dealing with later when you go to a bigger tire. But he's a broke college kid. We get it. You gotta do what you gotta do. So we're gonna get this out of our way for now. We're gonna gut the rest of this, cut the 3 zip ties that are holding this bumper on. I mean, there's really not much. There's something right here and some zip ties down here. That's about it. So we're gonna get that out of there, show you the guts of what we're working with, and then we'll start, we gotta cut our radiator cross member so we can get that bolted on, and then we'll start working on our wing kit. So first things first, this has got to go. He had it all zip tied on. I don't honestly think there's anything holding it on. Nope. Thought he washed this thing. So we got our winch out. Now we're going to cut our radiator support out so we can do our new radiator support skid. Radiator shouldn't fall out. Camera guy found this out long ago, that make sure you have your tabs right here, which doesn't look like Charlie does.
No, he does.
But he's got the main radiator tab. But I think camera guy was missing one of these, so when he cut his radiator skid out, it just went thunk. Hopefully it won't, but we'll find out.
Don't worry, the hoses will hold the radiator in place.
Right, you might have to just jiggle it a little. Brand new shop tool, new carbide bit. We're cutting our radiator support flush with this bracket on both sides. Can't remember if these get reused.
They do.
These get reused, guys. All right, so we're gonna save them. We've already got our winch bumper or winch mount on there. So cut that out. So we're gonna gain a little ground clearance. Our rubber pads are gonna get reused. And we got a mounting point here on each side. And I think a couple up in the middle here. So we took our rubber pieces off. We're gonna put them inside of here. We've just found, because this has a little bit of movement, it's easier to get those to align. Flats go to the middle. Put a little dab of grease in there just to help it slide. That one's in. That one's in. Camera guy, you wanna grab me a bolt? So as long as you have the winch mount already in there, which you would at this point, you'll have these inside nut plates, and then a factory bolt that's got a nut inside. It's going to go in the back. And then we got 4 along the face. These 2 inside ones we're actually going to drop from the inside down that way, so you have clearance for your winch. And then yeah, make sure your rubber is centered, which this one's going to come up a little bit here, but it should pull through no problem. So yeah, we're looking good. Put everything in loose so you got a little wiggle room. Get all your bolts started and then start cinching it down. So we are not using power tools right now.
Dale, no power tools.
Oh, what?
No power tools.
You know what? I forgot I have to brush my teeth.
That is not your toothbrush.
Okay, stainless is very soft and easy to round out these Allen head bolts. So we're just gonna do the old tried and true ratchet and wrench. So if you're wanting to do the radiator skid plate, that part of the video is done. Cut out your lower radiator support, bolt this on, good to go. I believe you do need the winch mount to run that because you got your outside mounting points. So you can run this with that. So if you want to do radiator skid, you could throw the bumper back on, good to go. But we're gonna move on to the wing section. So we need to do some modification here. So basically we're gonna take a line right here. We're gonna run the edge of this. We're gonna cut this lower portion out. So we're gonna retain our headlight mount, gain some ground clearance there, and then our wing's gonna tuck up tight to there. So we're gonna move on to the wings. So we got our bottom bolt in here, which is the front winch mount, uni-body mount bolt. We got it in there loose. This hole is slotted, so we have plenty of movement in there. You don't want to crank it down just yet. You want to be able to make sure you can get everything lined up. And then when we're all said and done, we'll drill these out and get those bolted in. So we're tacking our top plate on right now. This spot right here is pretty crucial. You don't want it tucked behind it. You don't want it sitting on top of it. You gotta find that real tight edge to edge, corner to corner for that outer plate. Otherwise this finish panel in here won't fit. Don't pay attention to the bottom, that one's just free floating right now. So we're just tacking our top on there. We gotta take this off. We're gonna modify the lower mount for the headlight. It's rubbing slightly here, but not a big worry. We'll unbolt this, grind it down a little bit, leave it intact so it still works for the mount. We'll be good to go. I'm gonna throw a few more tacks up here and then we'll take this off. So we're just putting a little upward pressure just to make sure that that gap stays even. If you have a buddy that can hold the end of it, does the same thing, but camera guy being camera guy, just get a jack to hold it.
Hey, my hands are full.
Okay. So just to talk about this a little bit, this has already been trimmed to clear these tires and everything. So when we're all said and done, we'll probably come in somewhere in here and just cut that off. But this is designed for the factory flare. It should butt in really close to the end of that. So that's why this looks a little goofy right now, but we'll take care of that after everything's welded and chop it off. But this one's all tacked together. So we're gonna take it off and start welding her together, and then we'll leave it up to Charlie how much he wants to finish it and get crazy with it, and then he can paint it. So you can do this either way. If you're a really good welder and comfortable, you can just weld everything from the outside. I've got a few bigger gaps in here, nothing too crazy, but anytime I've got a bigger gap, I'm gonna stitch weld it on the inside, so when I weld it on the outside, we'll have plenty of meat. I don't have to worry about it burning through, so that Charlie can grind it out and make a nice corner out of it. So if you want to get crazy and weld the whole thing inside and out, it's up to you. If you just want to weld the outside, that's fine too. So that's up to you. So mostly finish welded. I was gonna get more buck wild with it, start filling stuff in and leveling it out. Charlie wants to hit it with like some 1000 grit stuff and make it look pretty, so he can deal with that. So my part's done with that. I've already got the other side fully welded for him to start grinding on. Last thing we just got to drill out these 2 holes, 3/8. Hardware is in the bag for everything else. So we're going to pilot them through, drill them out to 3/8, get it bolted in. Like I said before, you guys can do this as a complete kit all in one. You can do it piece at a time. To run the skid, you got to run the winch mount. But other than that, let's get these drilled out and then Charlie can start grinding. All right, guys, so we got everything mounted. We ended up making nut plates. So if you've got a previous revision of this, it had 3 individual nuts. I didn't like how this one was a pain to get to, so we made nut plates. They're gonna start adding those into the kit, so if you buy a kit later after this video, those should be in there. Makes the install a lot easier. Intern Charlie stayed last night, cleaned them up real nice after I finished welding them for him. So he's got a couple little nicks he wants to touch up, and then we're gonna send him off to powder coat to match his winch mount. And then we also wired up his winch mount, so he is good to go. Once these are powder coated, bolt them back on. He'll be ready to hit the trail and start marking these up. So appreciate you guys hanging out. Like and subscribe. Let us know what you guys want to see in the future, and thanks for hanging out.